Hello everyone, so welcome to today's video. This one is going to be a full face routine, start to finish, when I have just a little bit of time to get ready. We are in the season of back to school. Some kids may have already started or are about to start, and that can be a very crazy time of the year, getting those first few days of back to school, the new routine, going into the next grade and coming out of that summer break and snapping back into that school mode. And I feel like I want to take the time to get myself ready. I want to take 5-10 minutes to throw on some makeup and feel more put together and ready to tackle the day. And we're all going to come to a point where we're going to be pressed for time, whether we woke up late, whether we hit snooze too many times, whether, something came up out of nowhere and you have to get yourself ready very quickly and you want to look put together without it being too difficult, without having to think about it too much. We're all going to have a time where that's going to happen. But for me, this is mostly like my get myself ready before school drop-offs, or even if I choose to do this before doing school pickups, which would be later in the day, whatever. But for me, if you are new to my channel, I have a school-age child and I have 2 little ones, and I'm about to have my 4th. My due date is literally around the corner, and so when I have to get everybody ready to do school drop-offs after the baby's born, I have to get 4 kids ready and myself. And that is going to be a challenge and a whole new set of hurdles, but that's okay because it's going to be fine. Everything is going to work out. But this routine, I feel like I'm checking off all my boxes. I don't feel like I look at myself in the mirror and I'm skipping a step, or I forgot, I wish I would have done that. It's just like finding the right products and the right formulas that just work and are easy to use and apply. That's why I decided to turn the camera on and sort of do this with you so you can see. Of course, like I said, it's a longer video because I'm explaining things, but if I didn't have to do that, I could get this done pretty quickly, and I could be done in about 10 minutes or so. I will also list below in the description box everything that I'm using today, but I will also put additional recommendations of some other products that I love and use or would recommend that I can't put all the things on my face. So I will have that for you in the description box, so expand that if you're interested in getting some more options. And I'll talk you through my brushes and the tools that I use and how I apply everything, so that, again, adds more time to the video. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that it gives you some tips along the way, some product recommendations, and if you want to see this entire look start to finish, then just keep watching. So I do have my skincare done. The next step in my routine would be an SPF. This is where you can kind of work with some products to kind of bypass foundation. And the products that I'm talking about are tinted SPFs. Now, not all tinted SPFs are created equal. I get that. I have tried many that are tinted. They offer no coverage whatsoever. But I have had really great luck with the Colorscience Flex. These are SPF 50 and they come in skin tone shades. So they will say Flex across in a gold bar, and you can get the ones that match your skin tone. For me, it's for fair skin tones. And this is a regular SPF of 50. It's all mineral. So you do want to shake it up. And when this comes out, it comes out white, just like a regular SPF would. And I will show you. It comes out white, as you can see. And there is little pigment spheres in here that will break up as you blend this in. And that is what gives you the color. So I'm going to kind of start working this in my hands like so. As you can see, it goes from white, starts to develop a more complexion tone, and this is going to be pretty light, again, because I used the fair shade. As you can see, it's pretty light. And so with this, I could skip foundation if I wanted to, because this offers me really good coverage. I would say it's a very light coverage, but I'm knocking out 2 steps, getting coverage, but I'm also getting my SPF. So as you can see, that gave me a really light coverage. It is a little bit lighter. I have gotten some color during a vacation that we took back in June. I didn't intentionally get out in the sun for a tan. I just happened to get a little bit of color, so that one is just a pinch of light. But I am going to use other products in later steps that are going to add more color to my skin, so I'm not really concerned about it. So this is a really good place for me to stop and proceed with the next steps of my routine. I do have another product that I think is really great for adding some coverage, giving me some sort of skincare benefit as well. If it's going to be on my face for several hours, if it has skincare benefits, that's always a bonus for me. And the serum, it's a tinted serum from Rosy Ink, and it's the Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. And I wear the shade 20 in this. It's a very good product. It is very watery, and it has little pigment spheres in there that you can, and I will show you in the back of my hand, that come out in a clear, sort of runny serum. And I've seen some reviews of people saying that it's difficult to blend, and when you start to break up those pigment spheres, it looks like it's not really blending in with the clear serum that's inside of this bottle. But the key to this is massaging the product on the back of your hand or in your fingers and then applying. You can like spot apply with your fingers, go in with a sponge, a brush, and I've used 3 different methods to apply, and it looks really great. You do have to break up those spheres. If you put it directly on the skin in the form of just like pumping it out like you see many people do, or directly onto a brush or a sponge, you're not really combining the serum and the pigments together, so it's going to be a little bit trickier to blend. I'm going to take just a little bit on my hand. I really do like this. It feels very watery and thin, but when you work it into the skin, it actually has a really beautiful finish and coverage. It is hydrating, but this does give me a little bit more coverage, and this will take obviously some time to work into the skin. But when you figure out the best way to work with it, get the right shade, it actually makes the process pretty quick. Other options, if you don't want to do like a tinted serum or like a thin serum foundation, these types of products like the e.l.f. Halo Glow Filter, I have the shade Fair, and I also have a deeper one for bronzing, or the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. These can give you that glow and pretty radiance to the skin. And they do offer a very light coverage where you could use this and then come in with some concealer, spot conceal, go underneath the eyes. So you could do that if you wanted to skip like a tinted serum, or if you didn't want to use a foundation product, you can go with something like this over your SPF. The shade Fair in e.l.f. doesn't really match up with the Fair in Charlotte. As you can see, this one is more peach from e.l.f., but it still looks absolutely beautiful, and I use it almost daily, and it's so hard for me to let go of my Charlotte because this is like hands down my #1 product from the brand that I absolutely love. But those are some options. Another thing you could use as well are these Flawless Creator Custom Drops from Dermablend. You could actually put a couple of drops of this, which is basically all pigment and none of the excess ingredients that you typically find in a foundation. So this is very potent stuff. I wear the shade 10N in this one. You could use this and add a couple drops to your moisturizer and sort of knock out the whole complexion step right there as you're doing your skincare. You can add this to your favorite SPF if it's not already tinted, and it has that typical dropper form, and it says to shake well, so you can incorporate all the pigments, and I would say 2 to 3 drops gets you a really nice coverage. So you can customize your coverage and sort of do 1 drop to however many you want based off of your personal preference. Now we can do concealer. I have a drugstore concealer that I actually have used as my foundation before, and it's beautiful. Works great for covering little marks on my face. Works for the under eye, works as foundation, and it's the NYX Bare With Me Serum Concealer. I have it in the shade Light. It looks a little dark, but it actually does work really well and matches my skin tone nicely. If I wanted to add a little bit of brightness, I am in my late pregnancy here, and I am tossing and turning, waking up a lot, and my kids wake up very early, and so I need something that can brighten up my under eyes. So for me, I like to use the Maybelline eraser. This is the Brightener, which is the pink tinted one. So I'm going to take a drop of the NYX one. And what I like to do is I like to take my finger and sort of apply this to the under eye area. And if you do one full pump, I feel like that's way too much for the under eye area. Personally, I feel like that would be just wasting the product. But if you're going to use it for your face, hyperpigmentation, marks as your foundation, then I feel like it's a sufficient amount of product to really get you some nice coverage. But it's a very good concealer from the drugstore. Now I do need to set my concealer. I always set it no matter if I'm pressed for time or not. So I'm going to use my Kosas Cloud Set powder in the shade Airy, and it looks like that. It's like a baked product. And I have all of my brushes here. There's a few that I like to use for the under eye. You can use like the BK Beauty, the Angie Hot and Flashy collaboration brush. This is the A506. It's like an angled brush for blending concealer and powder. You could use your beauty sponge as well. So this is really something that you could do with any brush. This is the setting brush from Real Techniques. It's a really good one that I could just pick up the product and go underneath and set that so I don't get any creasing throughout the day. I do like to use bigger, fluffier brushes for the rest of my face. You can use like any brush. This is just the first one I grabbed is the soft angle contour brush. It's not really for powder, but it's from Sigma. It's a F23, and I can just sort of knock out this whole step really, really quickly. So from here, I do my brows. This does take me a little bit more time just because I don't have full brows that I could just walk out the door and put some clear gel on and be done. I do have to take the time to fill them in. And one product for me that never fails me, no matter what color, like I recently re-dyed my hair so that it's more vibrant and red as it used to be before I have my fourth baby, and I want to make sure that I take care of that ahead of time. I can have full-on roots that haven't been touched up in 6 weeks and not have any issues with it, and it's the medium brown shade in the brow definer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This never fails me. This brand is incredible for their brow products. This one is the one that has that teardrop sort of triangular shape, so it's a little bit wider. It gets the job done faster than a thinner, more micro precise pencil. The next tip that I would recommend is finding yourself some really good face palettes that offer multiple things in one. There are some from the drugstore, like the Physicians Formula ones. I have tried some of their formulas and they are great, very affordable, but they do have some palettes that have like a highlighter, a couple bronzers, some blushes, and they offer different things that you could use to simplify your routine or for that person on the go who doesn't have that much time. A few of my favorites, I have like the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palettes that have the blush, highlight, setting powder, bronzer, all that's wrapped in one. So I feel like it makes that $80 price point for these a little bit more, I guess, easier to spend because I'm knocking out all of my routines. So if I spent $80 and this was the only bronzer, the only highlight, setting powder, and the only 2 blushes, then I feel like it's well worth it because I'm going to use this every single day. Now, because I am a true makeup lover and I love all the things makeup, I have multiple options of full face palettes. I have another one that I got several months ago, I would say, probably closer to the beginning of the year, and this is the Benefit Cheek Stars Reunion Tour. And I got this off of the Sephora website, and it offers, again, that sort of multi-use thing. I don't want to tip it and knock over the brush. I still have the brush in the plastic, but I don't actually use the brush. But you have Dallas Hoola, which can be kind of bronzy. Hoola is a bronzer. Sugar Bomb Georgia, which is a peachy shimmer blush. And Cookie Highlight, which is incredible. I used this yesterday and I was just like, wow, I need to use this highlighter more often. It's actually a blush brush from Real Techniques, but I'm going to go into Hoola, which is the bronzer. And I'm going to use the mirror in the compact, and I'm going to start by just applying that. And I do take this to the apples of the cheek and up towards my hairline and over the bridge of my nose to give me more color and to make my face match the rest of my body. Bridge of the nose and up towards the hairline. Take a little bit down here. This is an optional step. You don't have to do the whole carving out of the jawline, but I do because I've gained quite a bit of weight with this pregnancy. I've gained almost 50 pounds so far, so I do feel like you can kind of tell. So I do take my bronzer. I don't skip this step. And it literally took 2 seconds. So a blush brush. This is an affordable one from Eco Tools. It's the Define brush. I'm going to go into Georgia, which is a shimmery kind of peachy blush. And this, since it has a bit of shimmer, could be your kind of glowy, dewy product, and you can skip highlighter. But not if you have Cookie, because Cookie is bomb. And I will be using that for sure. Take a big fluffy brush. This one looks like an oversized crease brush, and I do like to use a lot of highlights. So this may be more than what you want to use. Ooh, yes. Again, personal preference here. Okay, so I pulled a couple of my favorites. I actually dropped one, but I don't really feel like bending over. That's a whole nother video. I need to do pregnancy update. It's the Bobbi Brown shadow sticks. Love those. So good. I have the Color Chameleon ones from Charlotte Tilbury. Very good formula. Very long wearing. And the Superhero No Tug shadow stick from It Cosmetics, which is what I'm using today. I have a few of these, and they're really great. I have several of the Bobbi Brown ones, and I feel like they really do add color to your lids, and depending on the shade that you choose, you can do something lighter, softer, smokier. And for me, I personally would recommend something with a little bit of shimmer because it acts almost like two different colors. When you blend it and bring it into your crease a little bit, it almost looks like you have two different colors when you really only have one. Charlotte Tilbury makes these Eyes to Mesmerize. This is just the Pillow Talk shade, which I really like. It's a bit of a pinky kind of warm tone color that's really nice, very flattering and beautiful. And both of these formulas are great. MAC is an OG, been around for a long time, but any of those brands would work just fine. Any cream shadow sticks that you can find at the drugstore, like e.l.f. has the No Budge ones. They came out with, I think, a couple new shades. I tried one that was more like a lilac when they first came out over a year ago. And I remember those being pretty good, and they stayed very well. So that's another affordable option. From my lash line, all the way up to where my lid meets my crease. And then I come in with my ring finger, and I blend this out. Super easy. And just like that, it's blended. But I do like to bring in some type of brush. Really any brush would work, but just anything that I could use to help clean up the edges. This is a deluxe crease brush from Real Techniques, and I like to just kind of go around the edges and soften that. I'm going to take the same one and go right underneath my lower lash line. And then again, just quickly with my finger blend that out. And it could not be any more simple than this. And then from here you can do your mascara of choice, whatever it is that you want to use. I like to do a little bit of liquid liner if I have the time. Again, not something that I do if I truly am pressed for time, like if I needed to be done. I wouldn't be able to do that. I would just do the mascara and be out the door. The liquid liner that I like to use is the Benefit Their Real Extreme Precision Liner. This is very black, very intense. I felt like, because I hadn't used liquid liner in probably 6 months, 8 months, or even longer, that this was going to be intimidating. I was going to mess this up, but it could not be easier. Again, it's an optional step if you have time, if you got up extra early in the morning and you wanted to do an extra step just to take this look up to the next level, then doing a liner is great, or just tight lining and doing your mascara. But what I like to do with this specific liner is I like to line really close, very thin to my lash line, and then blend that out with an angled brush. So I have my brush in hand. Any angled brush would work. And what that's going to do is going to soften the edges of the liquid liner without taking away the intensity that it's giving the eye. And I feel like it helps so that it looks a little bit more sultry and smoky versus just a thick line of liquid liner that's very obvious. To soften the edges, it makes all the difference in the world, and it really doesn't take that long to do as long as you find a formula that you feel comfortable using. And I don't let this sit too long because once it dries, it doesn't move. So this is where I come in with my brush and start softening that a little bit. So the finishing step is some mascara. This is the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm trying to finish this up. It's a very good mascara. I feel like it's on its way out. So I'm just going to do 2 really good coats. And the mascara is, I think, a huge key player as well in this look. You want a mascara that's going to give you length, thickness. It's going to give you that volume. It's going to make the lashes look more intense, and I feel like that really does add an impact. So if you do nothing else, a good mascara that can check all those boxes is really going to give you the most eye-opening effect. So I like this one from Charlotte Tilbury. It's one of my favorites. I feel like it gives me the length that I like, and it doesn't weigh down my lashes because my lashes, they're not super long, but they're not short. They're a good length, and with the right mascara, they can look pretty long. So that's why I like this mascara, because I feel like it makes them look longer. It defines and separates every single lash, so I don't have clumps. I don't have like 4 lashes where it looks like spider lashes, even though I do have a full set of lashes. That's the most annoying thing. It thickens them without looking clumpy. It adds a really nice, deep, rich black to the lashes. Now it's time for lips. You can do a lipstick, lip liner, gloss. If you want to have a bold lip, just do mascara. If you like liquid lips, they are a good formula to use, or a good finish, because you put them on and you don't have to worry about them. But I'm not a big fan of liquid lipstick because I feel like they're just a little too drying for my personal preference. I'm a gloss girl, will always be a gloss girl. So if I could choose a gloss over a liquid lip, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I have a couple. They can kind of give me some options. The Tower 28 glosses are really great. They have a wonderful formula. This is the shade called Coconut, which is like a creamy, milky pink shade. It does have some pigment. It's not as bold as it may seem on camera, but it has a really nice pink color, a really intense shine, which I love, and I love the formula. That's one of my top favorites. I also like these ones from Citizen Cosmetics. These are the Nudiversal Lip Duos. I have 3 of these. I just picked my most used one, which is a pink shade called DC. And you have a satin matte lipstick, which is very comfortable on one end, and it's beautiful to wear, and I absolutely love this shade of pink. It's very flattering. And on the other end, you have a matching gloss. The gloss is, again, it's thick but not goopy and sticky. It's pigmented. It's rich. I actually like mixing these with other lipsticks, and the formula is really beautiful on these as well. So you can do a lipstick too. That's totally fine. I honestly feel like I have good lipsticks that I can just put on its own. The Happy Kiss from Charlotte Tilbury is also nice. This is the Pillow Talk one. It's a little bit more of like a deeper rose color. So it just depends on what your preference is. If you want to keep it easy and simple, go with a gloss that has some tint to it. So I'm going to do the Tower 28. This is the Coconut. And it's so moisturizing and hydrating. And it's so pretty. And there's that color. And it's just a gloss. It's so pretty. Very easy and effortless. It's something that's easy. You can throw it into your purse as well if you're heading out the door to work, your bag if you're going to college or back to school. You know, just it's easy and simple. I can put this on without a mirror, and it's very forgiving. The color goes with pretty much anything, whether it's mascara on the eyes or, like I did today, a little bit of eyeshadow and eyeliner. I feel like it's a good formula, and it feels thick where it fills the lines of your lips and makes them look smoother, but it's not sticky and goopy and just nasty feeling. It feels so comfortable, like a cushion on your lips, which is really great. Alright, so that completes the look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was quite long, but I wanted to go through all the steps, explain the products that I'm using and why I've chosen them, give you some tips along the way, give you some product recommendations throughout the video, and I hope that that was helpful. As I said before, there's going to come a time where everybody's pressed for time, and if you want to get yourself ready, you don't have to sort of go out the door with nothing on. And I have done that for so long, and I realized if I find the right products, I can take 5 minutes for myself or 10 minutes while I'm sipping my coffee. I could be doing just a quick throw on of makeup and feel more put together, feel like I'm able to tackle the day. There's something about when I put my makeup on, I just feel like my confidence level goes up. Everything just is enhanced in a positive way. And that's one of the reasons why I love makeup and the power that makeup has. So I don't neglect myself anymore. I don't put myself on the back burner. Even if I have to get up early, I would rather get up 5-10 minutes early, get my coffee going, and do my makeup before I have to get my small kids ready and my school-age child ready. I would rather do that than go with nothing. I've certainly done that plenty of times. I'm not saying that if you go barefaced, it's the worst thing in the world. It's not. It really isn't. But I hope that this video can kind of give you some ideas and help you sort of navigate the products. There's so many out there. It can be very overwhelming to figure out what's going to work, what's going to be quick, what's going to be fussy, super easy to work with, what's going to work with everything else in your routine. And I really hope that this kind of helped you figure some things out and give you some other product suggestions and recommendations. So if you have any recommendations, whether they're high-end or drugstore, that you wanted to share with me that are your favorites that you use every single day, or when you have 10-15 minutes to get ready or less than that, and you are just so in love with those products, let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. You can follow me on Instagram. It's on the screen here, and we can connect there and chat and be friends. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this video, for being you, and I will talk to you very soon.